Yeah.
This
Wait for
is
it.
Seeing Red. Now, in our 15th season of bringing you the best in independent Red Bulls news and opinion. Now, here are your hosts, Mark Fishkin and Joe Goldstein.
For the 15th time, Seeing Red begins a new year covering the New York Red Bulls. And if you can see us, that's amazing. I'm here with Mark Fishkin. It's going to take some time. It's Mark Fishkin. I'm here with Joe Goldstein. We are back for yet another season covering the team that you love, the New York Red Bulls. I feel good. It's a brand new year, baby. How are you, Joe?
Is it time to do this already? Shortest off season ever. I've been good, Mark. The time off was glorious, and I'm rested, and I'm ready to take on this 15th season with you. Do you realize? Oh man, time to take my meds.
There you go.
Do you realize that next year we could be driving with a permit?
If this show is old enough to drive, then it's old enough to dull our senses seriously to avoid having to endure. You're listening to the first episode of 2024, and if you are, we thank you. We also want to let you know that for the first time in Seeing Red history, you can watch us as well on our YouTube channel and at goals.tv. That's golz.tv, which is the home for American soccer content. It's going to be very important as we get closer into 2026. If you're listening to us, you can do that. You can keep doing that if you want. But we urge you, as the kids say, to please like and subscribe, as the kids say, if you're watching on YouTube. Tonight on Seeing Red, without any new signings happening really since Forsberg, we're going just by internet rumors on who might or might not be coming to New York. And we've got two players that we feel pretty good about. Next up, Luquinhas Out. New York's diminutive Brazilian midfielder may be leaving the club. Our friend Gustavo Guimarães with the reporting. The preseason schedule is here. Everything is getting going in the next few days. Thursday is media day in Miami. We know that Forsberg and Carlos Coronel will be there. We'll dig into the preseason conditioning program and preseason games ahead of the season opener in Nashville, which is just 46 days away. A team legend signs with a rival squad. What does it mean? A new minor league team in the New York area. How much is too much? How much soccer is too much? And we will get to your emails. All that on the first Seeing Red of the year. So we're going to take 1 second. And let's get into it because we're doing it live on video. And when the light falls down, you bring it back. Okay. Good stuff. All right. So, imminent signings. Press reports out of Sweden has the 6'4" 21-year-old center back Noah Ile, who played 49 times in the Swedish Allsvenskan with Malby on loan from Malmö. One of the biggest teams in Sweden is coming to New York. Ile was held out of the Swedish national team camp that's going on right now by signing, with his signing coming in New York, anticipated any day, and may happen by the time you watch or listen to this. Noah is in discussions with other clubs and has therefore chosen to make it a priority, but I've been looking forward to having him here. But I respect his choice as Swedish national team coach Daniel Bagstrom. With Forsberg already in the fold, adding a young Swede makes a ton of sense as the Red Bulls are looking to build needed center back depth. Now, another young player rumored to be coming to the club is former Red Bulls Academy product forward Roald Mitchell, who has been playing at Wake Forest. He scored 19 times in 35 matches with the Demon Deacons over the last 3 seasons, racking up 9 assists as well. He's not a stranger to the organization at all. He appeared 10 times for Red Bulls 2 back in 2021, and he scored twice, and he'll most likely be a Red Bulls 2 player to start. But the Montclair, New Jersey native turns 21 next week, and yet another one to watch for the future. So, Joe, a young center back, potentially a young forward. What do you think, my man?
Noah, I'll start with Noah. theoretically, it's a huge up, big too, but huge updated depth signing and could push the starters. I thought Indam was very good when he was called upon, but he was never going to start over Nealis and Reyes. And in theory, Noah can do that. I've liked what I've seen from the highlight reels on YouTube. Uh, so you know, I'm gonna take it uh, uh, the hype train down a notch, but I really like the signing.
Okay.
Rold Mitchell is someone I expected to be signing sooner rather than later. Throughout his 10-game stint in 2021, several things became clear. He has excellent footwork, can be good with his back to the goal, and you know how important that is to the system.
Yep.
Knows how to link up and to keep a play alive, and makes smart runs into the box. With more consistent playing time, with presumably RB2, the sky's the limit.
It was interesting. A lot has been made about on MLS Extra Time this week. The armchair analyst made his predictions that the Red Bulls are actually going to be making signings and they're going to be coming relatively soon and Fast and Furious. This is what we've got so far. I know that the preseason starts on Saturday. So the idea that everyone is going to be here by the start of preseason, probably not the case unless there's a huge amount of news that's just about to drop. But with news of these players coming in, I think it's important to note our friend Gustavo Guimaraes of Territory MLS reported that Luquinhas, who is one of the Red Bulls designated players, may be very well on his way out of Harrison. Fortaleza FC of the Brazilian League has made transfer inquiries to the Red Bulls, and Gustavo says that while he has flown back to New York, he might not be here for long. For me, Luquinhas is a guy that joined the club early in 2022. I know it's very easy to think that he's been here forever. He hasn't been. He played 70 times in all comps for the Red Bulls, 10 goals and 12 assists. And, for me, those aren't DP numbers.
Yeah.
And I mean, what would it mean for the club to lose him literally at the start of preseason?
Well, better to lose him now instead of preparing for the season and there's a question mark over him. And I like Lukey, but you said it, the production was never there. I always felt like he was playing out of position. I would have liked to seen him more centrally, but that didn't fit the Red Bull system. But this opens up a DP slot, and
Yes.
I'm interested in how we're gonna fill it.
Yeah.
But it does beg the question: when are we going to see these missing roster pieces? There's not a lot of time,
No.
and it could make the beginning of the season really bumpy.
Well, and in addition, the Red Bulls play something like 5 of their first 10 away, or 6 of their first 9 away. And so, building that type of camaraderie within the team or adding new pieces, a third into the season is not going to serve them well. And, it's good timing to talk about exactly what the Red Bulls are going to be doing between this Saturday when players report to Hanover, right up until the team kicks a ball in anger against at Nashville in late February. They're going to have just a couple of days, a couple of getting to know you days at Hanover before they jet off to the IMG Academy, which is in Bradenton, Florida, just south of Tampa. And they start with the preseason games right away. I mean, we haven't heard from Sandro Schwartz yet. We have really no idea what his expectations are. Hopefully next week, by the next time you hear and or see us, we will have had time video questions for Schwartz. But nevertheless, they start with a really big match right out of the gate. Florida Gulf Coast University of the powerhouse ASUN Conference, which, used to be called the Atlantic Sun. Apparently for the kids who go to those schools, maybe it's just, I don't know. ASUN is better. Nevertheless, it's not uncommon for the Red Bulls to take on a college squad.
Yeah.
Don't expect these matches to be televised. Don't expect to see anything other than press reports or social clips. It's going to be too soon for everybody to really gauge exactly what the Red Bulls are going to have, especially for the first match. Caleb Porter and New England follow also at IMG on the 24th, and then they'll take on the Chicago Fire at
And Tom
Bradenton as well.
Barlow.
And Tom Barlow, preseason hat trick hero,
Yep.
on the 27th. Then they'll come back for a week because there's really nothing better after a week in Florida than to come back to Jersey for the end of January and early Feb. But nevertheless, they then head out to California and the Coachella Valley Invitational. They only going to have 2 games during their times in California, but it'll be nice. It'll be hot. It'll be dry. They'll take on Bradley Carnell and St. Louis City SC on February 10th. And then they finish up the preseason with Austin FC on February 14th. Oh, excuse me. Then they have the Galaxy on February 17th. 3 games in Florida, 3 games in California. And yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it's good they play the Galaxy because they haven't played them in 4 years. So it'll definitely be nice to see those uniforms again, I guess. Really, really nuts. And then they come back for the 18th, back to Hanover. They're here for 6 days, and then they jet off to Nashville when it all counts. So I guess the question is, new coach. I don't know if it's a new system. I don't know. Everyone, the players will know. The majority of the players will be, ready to go.
Will they?
I mean, we hoping that Lewis Morgan and Serge Goma will be ready to go, so we don't have to talk about that in 2024. I guess the question is, are 6 matches enough to be ready under what Schwartz may want from them?
Well, if last year taught us anything, the beginning of the season is an extended preseason.
Yeah.
But how radically different is Sandy's and the Red Bull system? I don't think that we're we're in for a revolution, but tweaks and such. And I don't think the system is going to change a whole lot, and the defense is good enough to keep us in matches. So the wiggle room is there. But I reiterate, I fear most that they can get new players integrated and not so much the system.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think, listen, the Red Bulls are not one of the third of the league that is taking part in CONCACAF Champions Cup. 10 MLS teams are getting going with that. And, I think it's, frankly, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that New York's not taking part in that tournament this year, because they'll need the time to get it together, right? These MLS teams that are starting in CCC, do we say CCC? It sounds weird.
Yeah.
CONCACAF Cup. It's just such a mouthful. I don't know. That tournament, they will be, those games will be, glorified preseason games for them too. It's just too soon. It's too soon. So, all right, let's move on. Oh, this one hurts. On Tuesday, one of the few links to the glory days of the Red Bulls extended his career for another season. Former Red Bulls captain Dax McCarty, who has famously shown the door after 2016, has a new club. Dax, who is 3rd on the all-time MLS appearance list with a staggering 466 games to his credit in the league, will play his 19th MLS season for Atlanta United. Now, it's not DC, where Dax came before he was here, and it's not New York City, and it's not Philadelphia. But it is not going to be comfortable watching Dax in that Atlanta kit, sir.
I really feel for his knees, and
Yeah,
Pray
on
for
that
them.
fake turf.
Yeah. From the looks of it, it seems like the final move he makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, that may run counter to his thoughts. I don't know, but I wish him nothing but the best. The midfield trio of McCarty, Kleshin, and Felipe was something special, and maybe the best trio in club history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wish him the best, and I hope he's productive, but not against us, uh, in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I give him credit to be able to show enough as and mind you, he's 36. It's not like he's 40. He has been in this league longer than the show has been on. I mean, that's I mean,
That says something.
that says something. I
Yeah.
mean, we've done 558 shows and he's in game 466. So, I mean, the longevity is great. He's a wonderful human being. He should get to end his career on his own terms.
Yeah.
Watching him from a young 20 something to the family man that he is now, it's just been amazing. So we wish you, as Joe said, we wish you the best of luck, Dax, just not against us. Tuesday, MLS Next Pro did something kind of weird. They announced that there was an ownership group from Bridgeport, Connecticut. And for those of you that maybe on the Jersey side and don't never find themselves in Connecticut, it's close. Bridgeport is close. It's just 60 miles from Midtown. Of course, you can't get there in 60 minutes because the Merritt and 95 are horrific. But
Yeah.
they were awarded a new independent MLS Next Pro team, unfortunately called Connecticut United. What is wrong with these people? Calling a brand new club that has never existed before Connecticut United. Did they spend an hour on it?
Good question,
I
Mark.
mean,
There's literally thousands upon
thousands.
thousands of names, and you picked the one United.
They hope to play in a 10,000 seat waterfront stadium that is yet to begin construction, and they hope to be ready by the start of next season, which I think is unlikely. And minor league team launches are famous for not, pushing back a year,
Yeah.
delaying a year. So it wouldn't surprise me. This seems to be a real estate play for the owner. And I don't give him, any bad looks for wanting to make a real estate play, mixed use, little mini Harrison district, but with restaurants. Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, Bridgeport rather, is the largest city in Connecticut. Now, if you had told me what's the largest city in Connecticut, I probably would have said Hartford, because that had their lone pro team in the Hartford Whalers for years and years. Hartford is only the fourth largest city in Connecticut. Bridgeport only has 150,000 people. That should tell you that Hartford has really fallen on some hard times. Connecticut United joins Brooklyn FC, a USL1 team that hopes to get going next year, and CTUTD will give the Red Bulls 2 another close rivalry game, which is good, along with City 2 and Philly 2, and I guess that's good. And the owner of the team says his goal, and I say this with a straight face because he said it with a straight face, is to bring MLS and the NWSL to Bridgeport. Just baffling. So I guess what I'm asking you, Joe, does the team have a chance of success? Is this a move to just try to choke out the USL? I mean, is that their goal? Obviously USL has a team in Hartford, which is not far from Bridgeport.
Yep.
Does an unaffiliated team have any chances to make it in MLS Next Pro? What do you think here?
Hartford was like 12th or 14th out of attendance in 2023. And it's not good. It's like
The team isn't good.
it's under 5K. But I look at Rochester, and it sure died quickly.
Yeah.
But that's a unique market and full of problems. But I don't know. What could be the draw attracting new fans to the game? Because it's a lower level than the USL, and the aforementioned team in Hartford. Um, there is, however, the exposure to MLS fans in the area, um, to see that games are played on Apple TV, but Paramount is picking up the USL, so that's a wash.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't see them working out, but I've been wrong a lot more times than I've been right in the past. Um, but I don't think it has a chance unless Bridgeport has like a mighty good plan in place, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, Bridgeport is a city that is struggling with urban renewal. They have had minor league teams in the past. They had the Bridgeport Bluefish, which were an unaffiliated baseball team. They do have the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, which I believe may still be the Islanders AHL team. I'm not sure, so you can certainly let me know about that. But I mean, Bridgeport is in the New York City metro. And so I guess the question is, if you're a soccer fan, if you're a soccer fan and I'm not putting, I have kids that are 8 or under and I'm looking for something to do with them, right?
Yeah,
Like, totally get it. Or I'll go see the Westchester Knicks or the Long Island Nets because I don't want to spend the money and time, and my young child isn't going to make a difference. It won't
yeah.
matter. But where you're talking about a minor league team starting from scratch, there should be more soccer for sure. It's an interesting move, and the fact that NMLS Next Pro has said, we're going to continue to find these second and third tier cities and expand. I mean, that is absolutely pulling the dagger out at USL. So it'll really be interesting to see what happens.
Do I have this right? USL threatened a Chicago team, and then MLS pulled its two teams from the league and set up their own league.
What teams were those?
Well, the next pros, but
They pulled them out. So does the Fire have a team?
I don't think so. It's a USL privately owned team.
Interesting.
Maybe I'm making it up.
Well, and then MLS said we're coming to San Diego. Sorry, and
Yeah.
so I mean I think you're going to see these elbows continue to bump into each other frequently. We mentioned it earlier. Emil Forsberg is in the U.S. He let a shot off an Insta photo earlier today of him on the plane, saying, "Here we go." He is due in Miami tomorrow. He flew into Newark mid-afternoon. He's due into Miami. He will be representing the Red Bulls along with Carlos Coronel in the MLS Media Day. So that's exciting stuff. And we should be hearing and seeing from him relatively soon. And then, of course, another tough bit of news of former Metro heading other places. The Red Bulls said to Troy Lesesne, "Thank you, no thank you." There are a number of teams that are looking for help. I believe that Troy is affordable, to take nothing away from the job he did here. If you've listened to Seeing Red, you know that we're big fans of his. But nevertheless, Troy Lesesne was named today as the head coach of DC United. And, there's some sort of weird symmetry here because, of course, it was DC United that was Lesesne's first opponent with coaching the Red Bulls in the Open Cup. And famously, in that match, Wayne Rooney, who just got sacked himself at Blackburn, said, "I'm not bringing my team to play at Montclair State." So circles among circles among circles, and plenty of folks have been very upfront about the fact that the old enemy is a tired rivalry. But nevertheless, I think it's important. So, any thoughts there, sir?
That it's difficult for me to wish Lesesne luck. But he could use a break. The Red Bulls were a difficult situation when he came on board and righted the ship mostly. I don't. It's his first chance to put a team together, so I look forward to that.
Yeah, and we similar to Dax, although at a different order of magnitude, we wish Troy Lesesne nothing but success. He's a terrific, terrific guy. Okay, we did our first segment on video.
Woo!
It's amazing. We didn't mess up too badly. Next up, as per, although we will have plenty of guests for you on Seeing Red this year, we're going to have listener mail. Thank you for those who wrote in. We will be back after this short break. Stay with. Got the music interstitial. It's all good. For the first time, Joe, in 2024, I'm very, very pleased to say that it is email time, and I understand that we have so many ways to communicate with you now. You may or may not be aware that we launched our Instagram feed for the first time this week because we are joining the decade of the 2020s, and we thought, these old men could probably grab a little bit more attention, but nevertheless, follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe. We do have an older page that you may come across. What you want to do is go to youtube.com/@seeingredny. On Instagram, we're at seeingredny. And you can email us, as it says here at the bottom of your screen, at seeingredny@gmail.com. So we hope that you will do that soon. And we hope as we move into preseason, the emails will come. And we're very, very pleased to welcome our first email of 2024 from longtime listener and writer Trevor Marine, who says, "Happy and healthy New Year, guys, to my two favorite podcast hosts." Happy New Year, Joe.
Happy New Year.
Did you do anything special for New Year's?
Hung out with my sister and her family.
Yeah. Nice. Did you stay up?
Oh, yes.
What did you watch? Did you watch Ryan Seacrest?
Yes, largely. But we did a viewing of Dragula. That's an alt drag reality show. It was perfect.
That I can't top it. Can't top it. Here's Trevor Marine. While we wait on more transfer rumors, I wanted to ask you guys about some RB2 players that might get key minutes this season. Who you think has a chance to make the jump to the first team sooner or later? So I'll read the names and you can give me your thoughts. How about that?
Okay.
AJ Marcucci. Is this the year he finally gets a first team start, especially with Coronel playing with Paraguay more? And he'll be away for Copa America, Coronel.
I would give it to Mira, but he has to impress a new coach, so maybe.
All right. Curtis Ofori, is he the replacement for Tolkien if he gets sold?
Not ready yet.
No. Okay. Yeah. Dave Alexandra and Aiden O'Connor, are these guys slated to be center back starters for the two team and maybe backups for the first team?
O'Connor is, well, I think that neither will see the first team minutes, but safe to say they are the starters on RB2.
Okay. And of course, Noah Ayla coming in, you've got perhaps two guys fighting for that number 4 spot. Juan Mina, who we haven't seen at all, Could they be waiting to see if he's a starting caliber right back on the first team?
I don't know if he would play right back because you got Cameron Harper,
Yes, behind
Kyle
Duncan.
Duncan,
Yeah.
and arguably the Dylan Nealis ahead of him. But maybe with a full preseason, he gets out there. But maybe on the left, I don't know.
We shall see. Bento Estrella, been hearing about him for years. Is he finally ready for first team minutes?
Maybe like around the Open Cup or Leagues Cup. I was impressed with him last year, but there's still a growth needed from him.
Okay. Ibra Kasule made the next pro best 11. I feel like he's the most ready player to make the jump.
Yes. I think that you would see him a start or a spell rests for either forward.
Okay. Not to mention first team guys on first team deals like Doncor and Hall. There are a lot of young players in the org. My goodness.
Yeah, I think Doncor is ready to take on the challenge, but I don't know if he is a spot starter or not.
Okay. Curious if you think how many this will be managed. Looking forward to another great season of Seeing Red, and congrats on the new Instagram page. That's Trevor from Kingston. If you write in, your name will appear here below, down below. It's a wonderful, wonderful benefit. You are now YouTube famous to our 33 subscribers. All right. Next, Matt Graham, who's also been writing for many years. Congrats, Mark and Joe, on the 15th season of Seeing Red, when I know you will once again be the real MVPs of Red Bull New York. Fun fact, neither Joe nor I are a part of that organization.
I've got an announcement to make.
Uh-oh.
I'm still not part of the organization.
I got a mug, though.
Yeah.
It's nice. Can you help me understand? This is back to Matt. Can you help me understand what is the point of Jochen Schneider?
Whoa, that's a big question.
After cutting the team's leading scorer, hiring a Bundesliga washout as coach, and signing a Leipzig retiree for $6 million, Dennis Hamlet had to be at home thinking, I could have done that.
No, he couldn't.
This team needs a striker, and they blew up the bank for the attacking midfielder. This Matt is in mid-season form. While Emil Forsberg is an exciting addition, he's more Tim Cahill than Thierry Henry.
Arguably the most important for the first shield.
Okay, all right. Schneider said they'd be bringing in some big names, but at this rate, the three best players on the likely opening day roster, Forsberg, Morgan, and Jamie, were all signed with Red Bull last season. What is the purpose of Jochen Schneider if he's not going to do anything beyond the ordinary? Red Bull doesn't tolerate mediocrity in any of their other sporting ventures. Why are they so tolerant of it here in New York? Thank you, and may you both have a wonderful 2024, especially Joe.
Oh, thank you.
That's Matt Graham in Union City. What is the point, Joe, of Jochen Schneider?
Well, I don't think that Dennis Hamlet had the final say on any move that was made. Any move that was made during his tenure.
Okay.
The point of Jochen Schneider as a sporting director is to hire the next what was
head of sport is to hire the sporting director.
Yes.
who has yet to arrive, by the way.
Yes, that's true. But I think it's too early to judge Schneider when the transfer window is still open. He said we'll make changes and we'll compete and we'll sign. Oh, well, Mark de Grandpuy said that we'll sign more internationals. So I don't feel comfortable weighing in on how he's doing until that job is done.
That's fine. And listen, I don't know too many MLS rosters of playoff teams that are complete at this point.
Yeah.
Everything is a work in progress. Everything is, soon to come. So I think it's okay to sit back and say, wow me. I mean, they were very upfront about saying we're here and we're going to improve the team. Matt Doyle on Extra Time said it's going to happen. They're going to do it. So it may have happened by the time you watch or listen to this. Knowing our luck, it probably has.
That's
but
right.
But the point is, it's been a relatively quiet off season. There are still lots of holes to fill. They know that. So it's okay to bury him now, I guess. Maybe in 2 or 3 more weeks, it'll be time to take a sounding, because the shortest off season in pro sports is over, and now we're 6 weeks away from doing this. So it'll be crazy. Joe, we've come to an end of our first ever YouTube episode of Seeing Red. From what I understand, there are some shows that just do that from the start. I don't know, man.
It confounds me. More power to them.
Yeah, more power to them. I want to put out some thanks here. Bob Ventimiglia, really, really important, of I-80 Sports, really important, of helping us get the technology right, making some really good suggestions. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think about this new format. We want the comments. We are not shy. We are trying to have thicker skin when it comes to critical comments. And so please, what we hope is to be able to provide you the exact same experience that you're accustomed to at Seeing Red, in audio form and video form. You don't have to watch us in video. You can still keep listening to us in all the places you do, whether it's Amazon or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or at our website at seeingredpod.com. Joe, what's the craziest thing that's going to happen over this coming week?
Thierry Henry comes out of retirement, goes back in time to pick up Thierry Henry in his prime, comes back with him, and can dual role, like a central midfield and striker at the same time.
I asked for crazy. I shouldn't be surprised. I think by the time that you next hear from us, there will be at least 2 more signings. It may be Noah Eiley and it may be Roel Mitchell, but the roster will continue to come together. We'll hear all about Emil Forsberg's motivations. These are a lot less crazy. We'll hear less. And and big ups to Thierry Henry. Not that he certainly needs it from us. He shared very publicly this week that he had been suffering from significant mental health challenges during COVID when he was coaching Montreal Impact. Not saying that just coaching Montreal Impact is enough to give you mental health challenges, and certainly not making light. But he really, I think it's important when superstars talk about the challenges that they have, because it makes everyday challenges a little more reasonable. So thank you so much. We'll be back soon, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. We're going to play some music now. Let's play us off. Let's do it. Here we go.